We're on. What's up? Not that anybody
Welcome.
that fast, but
It's actually pretty shockingly surprising how fast they do come. You good?
Make sure
If you
that
build
was
it,
off.
they will come.
thanks for joining. It's a little later than we wanted.
But we're here.
Actually, we haven't really tweeted out we haven't
Nah, we got to do better.
firmly
Established.
established
do.
a start time. I think 8:30 is
8:30,
solid.
perfect.
That's
yeah.
looking okay, right?
It's beautiful.
Excellent.
It's beautiful.
Let's see how long it
everyone
takes.
looks all right.
5, 4,
Yeah, see,
3,
hold it up.
2.
What's up, Ryan?
So
We in
far,
slow
that's,
motion?
That's now.
There we go. Okay.
it's like a
That's
six,
now.
or, six,
If
six
you
or
moved
7
it back
second.
a little bit, that would be then,
It's like Spaceballs.
not now.
Dun, dun,
But
dun,
we could go into the
Fast
future.
forward. Fast
It's
forward.
like 7-second delay.
So if we see
What's
anything, we can
up?
hit the button
All right.
and turn it off.
We're good to go. Let's get this
That's the
party
then
started.
now.
The now?
Dude, don't tell me. Just put your finger on it. You got it set to 10-second refresh.
Oh, yeah, it's quick.
All right, here we go. I just think that's a great high school sports
All
Saturday
the lights. Friday
halftime
night.
sound, maybe even before on your way to the game.
It'll get you motivated.
Welcome, everybody, to Tuesday night. We're very pleased to host you. I'm Ken Marangolo on behalf of First Amendment Sports. He's Tim Strachan.
Yes, it is, and I am so excited to be talking about the WCAC tonight. I've never been more excited to talk about the league than I am tonight. You guys are about to find out why.
He's Kevin Ricka.
I might need a seatbelt on after
Yeah.
that little preemptive strike from Mr. Strachan. Let's get it started,
He's about
brother.
to challenge your energy because you're usually the one
I've been known to get
hot
Scarface,
out of the chutes.
but laughing in pre-production has gotten me a little warmed up.
You're ready to
So
go.
now I think
Sweating
it's-
already.
Our
It
chief
is a sweaty
WCAC
basement.
correspondent on the ground at least one game a week, if not multiple games a week. Knows the league inside and out. Matt, the real deal seal. We call him Pete Schweddy.
What's up, guys? I'm usually the one trying to hold you back, but tonight
That's
I need to be held back as well because I'm excited.
all right.
it's
We'll
gonna be
find
A
out
lot of
why in a
excitement
little bit.
in the
It's gonna
house.
be a freaking melee.
The real
Oh, yeah.
deal is
That's right.
ready to go.
So, at
do
First
it.
Amendment Sports, we think the WCAC is the greatest high school sports conference in the land. We think that because it's true. Evidence bears it out. We're going to get to some of that before the show's through. This is a year-round show, and we'll tell you why before the show's through. Right now, we are focused on football, and that's not to say there's not other exciting things happening in the WCAC, but I'm telling you right now, in high school sports, there is nobody that's got it like the WCAC's got it right now. And you know what? There's not a better reason to get together on a Tuesday night and hang out.
Especially when there's only one more week of non-conference games before the clash of the Titans
We
ensues.
get into it.
The WCAC Spectacular starts now. We will talk about the week that was. That's how we start every show. And in no particular order, I'll bat lead off tonight. I'm going to go with my Bishop McNamara Mustangs. I misspoke. I, Ken Marangolo, misspoke. We were. I gave us one loss. Coach Malloy, Damon Atwater, both McNamara Mustang grads, both leading that program to a 3-2 record. 3 wins, 2 losses. We did take one on the chin from Riverdale at the beginning of the season, in addition to our loss to Riken. But that all changed. They showed up with the Gold Rush at McNamara, hosted Carroll, and we put a beating on them. In the collegial WCAC
Go ahead,
sense.
enjoy yourself.
Between
and
the
have
lines.
some
I'm
fun with
enjoying it.
Don't
Okay,
hold
so-
back.
It wasn't close.
No one else is
close.
gonna.
It wasn't close, and we've all
Which
played.
is shocking because of you.
Carroll
you
Wilson
talked
game.
about Carroll
Yes.
last week.
I don't know what happened in between. I don't know if they had some injuries, but I certainly expected a different result myself. So
It's fun. I'll tell you, the spirit at McNamara is high, and I know that it was an all-in moment for McNamara, and I think that's what you see on the scoreboard. I was seeing pictures from teachers posing with the players, in the jerseys. I was seeing the students, get fired up for WCAC, old school WCAC tilt. I mean,
Right.
my dad played Carroll, in 1970, 71. I played Carroll. We all played Carroll. It's a big deal. It's a fun matchup. Anytime you get these schools together, McNamara came out on top,
I know why you're excited.
54-6. There was a 27-point second quarter. I believe they were up at that point, 41-0.
41-0 at half, dude.
I'm going to read you some of the stats. 6 different Mustangs scored. We threw 6 touchdown passes. And again, this is with all respect to an opponent that has played well this season. I'm all giddy because McNamara, this is a new level for McNamara. Even if it's just 1 week, we're removed 1 week from this game. This is a style of football that McNamara hasn't really seen. And Coach Malloy and Coach Atwater, I want to make sure I just keep giving them constant props and recognition.
Devin Atwater's a great player. We all played against him, and yes.
It's well deserved.
All right, so we got a senior quarterback, Miles Miller, 15-20, 261 yards and 4 touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, he caught a touchdown pass.
That's a fun day for QB.
McNamara has another senior wide receiver, so a good senior connection on offense with Irvin Wilkins. 7 catches, 147 yards, 3 touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, he also threw one too. Junior outside linebacker.
Possibly the one that the quarterback caught.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I don't know.
We're gonna match that up. I don't know. We have to check our
mystery. We
have to check our fantasy
That
scores.
could be it.
Yeah,
I mean,
if he catches a touchdown, he wants to do research on it.
Your fantasy. By the way, our research department, headed by Kevin Ricka, is second to none. So thank you in advance for making sure that we get it right, because I do get it wrong. Quinn Osborne, junior outside linebacker, 11 tackles. Believe he also had a pick 6, which
Another
is
fun day.
Which is, again, it's those are the little things. You see a big score, some cool things happened. No one gets more excited when an outside linebacker takes one back to the house. I mean, that gets everyone fired
Especially
up.
when he's tackling everyone every time they run a play. I mean, that's the guy. I just my one guy, Kenneth Womack.
Yeah.
We didn't do a great job last week, but last week, well, we saw it. We just forgot to mention that he had an interception return for a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown against Ireton. He had a stellar day out there, but it looks like a career day from everyone else. But the versatility of this team, guys catching touchdowns left and right, different guys running different sets of quarterback. Miles Miller getting it done, 15-20. That's a dream day. That's a program changer.
And here's what it does for you. It creates confidence in yourself and in your team, and you guys say, we've done this before.
Yep.
That now becomes a point where McNamara can be dangerous in this league. Obviously
confidence is a big deal.
They have the biggest hill to climb. There's no doubt about it. We don't shy from that, but they've got confidence going into the conference play, and that's huge.
Hey, and let's be fair, they didn't shy from being a part of this conference.
No way.
In a rebuilding year, they didn't shy away. They're ready to stand up and take it and see and give it when they're getting it.
It does bear mentioning.
Much respect for that.
We talk about the 5. We talk about schools where they said, okay, who's going to step up and play these guys all year round, take one step forward. And it was St. John's and DeMatha and Good Counsel and Gonzaga and McNamara. And so that's how we're going to wrap up our season. Those schools are going to beat each other up, and it's going to be so much fun. I want to say McNamara does have Landon on the way, a 4-0 Landon team. They are ranked, I believe, in the top 20.
18th, yep.
As a McNamara grad, and I think we could probably all share this as WCAC fans. God, I want to beat Landon. They scored a lot of points. Landon scores a lot of points.
There was a little bit of emotion in that.
Listen, they're right down the street. We all know people who went to Landon. None of us did, and you know what? That's going to be just fine. And I think we
all know a few Landon grads that we all stick it to.
Yes, that's right.
Not very often that the leagues cross and play each other. It doesn't happen very often.
Well, Landon and McNamara have had a little deal here where they've renewed a couple 2-year deals, and it's pretty cool. Very interesting matchup, but I love it.
Is Trey Johnson still there at all in any capacity?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Last I knew, he was. Yeah.
The great Daryl Hodge is there though.
Daryl Hodge,
St. John's alone.
That's
right.
I kind of know why. I kind of know why Ken's a little bit more giddy about McNamara this week. It's a big week.
Yeah, man.
Our man, Ken Marangolo, going into the Hall of Fame with his 1994 team, 93 team.
93 champion soccer team. Yep.
93 soccer team. It's
going to be awesome.
Congratulations, brother.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations.
I appreciate
That's
that.
unbelievable, man.
Joining these guys who beat me by years and rightfully so into their respective Hall of Fames. It's
3 Hall of Famers from the WCAC at their respective schools right here at the table.
Fun night.
The real deal.
Get yourself out to McNamara. Hang out with us for the night.
We'd have lost that bet if everyone just took a look at the picture.
Oh God,
those guys all must have played line.
What kind of league are y'all talking about?
Is this the same league you guys meet every Tuesday and talk about? That might be maybe a mistake. As
that
far as
league?
business plan.
Congrats, Mr. Marangolo.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Well deserved.
And to the 93 Mustangs.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's without further ado, let's move the show along. Go Mustangs.
Mr. Guest on the phone?
You know, are we going?
I don't think there's
we're
any
going
mystery
mobile
about it.
here,
No.
Mobile.
The first one's.
Yeah.
The first one's.
He's
not
a
usually
correspondent
mystery.
by now. No
Not a
one's
mystery
yeah.
to the guests that are tuning in each week. That's for
I
sure.
think he's going to bring it.
How hot's
I
he
got a
going to
feeling.
come in
Think
is
so?
the question.
Oh, there he is. I
10
can
out
hear
of
him.
10.
hope you all
I
can hear. Let's
feel a
get it.
10 out of 10 coming here.
Let's get it going.
Might want to turn down your dial just a little bit.
There you go.
Hello.
Good counsel like this. Good counsel like that. Good counsel with the wiffle ball bat.
Okay.
There he is.
Yes.
Tim Reddy, welcome to the show.
back.
How long do you work on that one, man?
Good evening.
I'm going to make sure I give him his proper due on
Sorry,
the
I
volume.
talked over you. You worked that one out for a long time, did you?
That reminds me of good counsel Wheaton.
Little shout out to the Beasties. Yeah, it was definitely.
Counsel Wheaton campus.
There we go.
Yes,
There
sir.
we go.
All right.
Tim, we're on good counsel. It bears mentioning that they remain a very solid program, and we are happy to host you as part of our show again this week. Give us an update.
Good counsel Bishop Sullivan came up here from Virginia Beach. Wasn't much of a game. Good counsel was up 27-0 at half. Running clock in the third quarter. Final score ended up being 54-0. Gonzaga only beat them 35-0. I will add. So good counsel, we always like to do things a little bit better than them.
How's that math work out for
Okay.
you,
The
Tim?
associative property, I believe we call that, and I think it works out just fine. Who shined?
It wasn't much of a game. It was over pretty quick. Good counsel was working with the short field the whole game. 5 touchdowns on the ground, 2 through the air. They had a late, long interception return for a touchdown that finished all scoring. It was 54-0 in the third quarter, so that was the final score.
Sounds like there's a little bullying going on out there.
Be.
It was a bit of bullying, I'm afraid, but we're gonna hopefully that's gonna carry over this Friday. We're gonna be up at Northwest. We're doing a little Montgomery County matchup up here at 7 o'clock Friday Northwest. So we're looking forward to that one.
Wow.
Tim, I want to kind of bridge together the McNamara Gonzaga segments in the following way. When you started coming on the show at the beginning of the WCAC Spectacular this season,
Good counsel.
Sorry, Good Counsel. We talked about the quarterback at Good Counsel and
Yes.
the manner in which he could, be a, for lack of a better word, player when it comes time in the playoffs. McNamara has a senior quarterback, senior wide receiver connection. How are things progressing? I mean, the McNamara and Good Counsel are probably not going to be favored in games, specifically against St. John's, maybe even against a matchup, depending on when and where.
They're going to have their fair share of.
They're not getting disrespected, but I'm just saying.
Oh, no.
they're
Oh,
not
no.
getting disrespected. But
No, they're nationally ranked
Good
19th.
counsel,
we're talking about a bunch of nationally ranked teams. Tell me how
the council's feature is their running game and their offensive line. So
Okay.
obviously, they need to play great defense. They like to get a lead so they can run the ball and control the clock. They do have big play capability through the air. So in the last couple games, Cam Snell has thrown a couple interceptions. Some of them have been costly. So, going up against teams like St. John's, St. John's is an extremely talented team. I really think they're probably the best team in the country. But, week by week, when you go up against that kind of talent, you really got to do the best you can and try to make plays.
But
Try
I've
to make
seen
big
this
plays.
kid Snell's, some of his highlights. I've seen his name, in every article that you read. He's a senior. To your point, Ken,
The senior,
said he's a
yeah, the
senior.
senior.
He's been through this. He's done that. You're going to have down times. You're going to throw interceptions as a quarterback.
Yes.
Hey, you can't be perfect all the time. These are things that he can learn. Again, we're just looking towards how these teams are building up towards league play, and
Yep.
you cannot count this kid out in that senior connection. Because
absolutely
he's been
not.
through it all before.
No,
Absolutely. It really comes down to making, big plays, at critical times in the game, T. And I definitely think,
And I think he's done that.
Council has a lot of guys that are capable of doing that.
Hey, Tim, before we let you go, put some shine on somebody that we haven't talked about at Good Counsel. We have talked about their offensive line. We have talked about their quarterback, but they got a lot of
Definitely
guys.
talked about their tight end.
Oh God, they have.
The guy that stands out,
Yeah,
and I've mentioned him before, but I'm going to say it again, is Mitchell Melton. And this guy is the stork out there. He is 6'6", huge wingspan.
Good Lord.
He's an outside linebacker that they put out on number 2. He is something to see. When you go down to the football field and you see him standing, toe to toe, He's quite a sight.
He's got a little Joshua Harvey Clemens in
Beat me
him.
to it.
And that's one of my favorite upcoming guys. And this council team reminds me a bit of the old T. Strack and DeMatha teams where they hand the ball off 10 times in a row, then play action. All of a sudden, Brian McCarthy's running wild.
It's the way football is meant to be played.
Listen, stop trying to make a stone wheel over there. This is fine. I'm with it. I love it. I'm with it.
They have three.
The cam-to-cam connection after running the ball and pounding it with that O-line is devastating at times. And I know Marietta found that out the hard way early in the season. A couple huge plays.
About that, because I know St. John's just played Marietta. Famous alumni from Marietta. Can you name them?
Oh, it's like a country singer, right?
Negative. Football player. NFL football player.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Eric Zire.
There
Where
you
they
go.
got that?
We get trivia, too.
Dude, I
You
mean,
just can't give the 100-pointer out in the first one. That was Final Jeopardy.
you could have started with like Jalen
All-time
Jenkins
classics.
Or the legendary
Yeah,
wrestler
you brought up
Dusty
Stefan
Rhodes,
Diggs.
but hey, that's okay.
Good counsel, that is.
Yeah.
That
Sky
was good
LaRue.
research, though, Tim.
Yeah, I liked it.
Hey, Tim,
My pleasure.
give us a final score prediction of this week.
I think Good Counsel is going to come up here and put another big number on the board. A 55-0 game up in Northwest.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, we look forward to talking to you again, hopefully on the back side of that, but on the front side of the amazing schedule that we're about to see a team like Good Counsel play. Tim Reddy, appreciate you. Good Counsel correspondent, super fan, Hall of Famer. Appreciate
Hey,
you.
we are looking forward to it. And as they say, let me hear you say, Good Counsel football.
I'm good.
No, thanks.
But
thanks
I do
for coming
enjoy
on
it.
tonight.
I
I've
do
never
enjoy
said
it.
that.
Appreciate you having
Yeah,
me
you
on
got
the
to
show,
put that
pal.
one, huh?
Well, it's time
I
to
thought
talk.
you were about to
The
say
best. He's the best in and out.
He's the
There's
best.
no doubt.
You know, that's
Yes.
that's what I mean. And again, Hall of Fame, right? I mean,
Shepherd.
Hall of Fame
he's
and
a
Shepherd. That's right. We
Hall of
talked
Famer.
Oh,
about
we got to
that.
work on that GC one.
We do. We got
Got
to
to get him in there.
Campaign starts tonight. Let's talk some purple.
The Gonzaga Eagles beat the Petty School from New Jersey on Saturday, led by sophomore quarterback Caleb Williams. Passed 2 touchdowns. They were led by a offensive rushing attack. Lucas Warfield got in the end zone once. So did Aaron Turner. Williams also found Turner on a touchdown pass. The Eagles.
Those are
Gave
the
up
same
a-
names, though, too. We keep hearing
The same
each
guys
week.
are
Offensively for
constantly in the
these
box
guys.
score for these guys, putting up
They're
big
playmakers.
plays.
John Marshall as well. It's a
Yep,
name. That's the
yep.
connection we talked about last week.
Joseph Waite, big interception to start the second half of play. The final score was 30-20. Blessed Sacrament football alum Marco Kemp got a field goal in there for the Eagles.
Go, ding, ding.
But the box score is a little deceiving, Kevin Ricca,
Well,
because
look, they got up on him. They jumped out, punched him in the face, drove down the field right away, got a little rushing touchdown in there. They've got dynamic wide receivers at the Petty School and a couple players. And the quarterback we know can play. We watched them ourselves. Maurice Bellin threw for almost 400 yards and had 76 yards rushing, albeit in a comeback situation while Gonzaga held the upper hand. And
Look.
obviously that situation is a little bit different. But look, when you got a
Any
receiver
high school kid that can put up 400 yards on
Hey.
St. John's, no matter who's in the game, that's
on,
something
on
to be proud
Gonzaga,
of.
Gonzaga.
on Gonzaga.
I'm sorry.
He
on
was a
Gonzaga.
former cadet.
It's something to be. That's why I got
Yeah.
confused. That's something to be proud of.
Wide
There's no
receivers,
doubt about it.
3 wide receivers had 7 receptions for, or 2 of them had over 100 yards, and one had 90, I believe. But we're talking about guys going to Alabama and Rutgers
Yes.
and big time places. That's big time ball. That was a test for Gonzaga, and I believe last year.
Petty School's only loss last year was a neutral site matchup in Philadelphia with Gonzaga.
Wow.
So they were out for blood, but Gonzaga took it to him early and often.
Paybacks.
And
They
Caleb Williams spins
They're
that ball,
hell.
man. That
He is
second
something
half,
special. Watch
yeah, it comes off his hand real nice.
If you haven't had a chance, local football fans, to go out and watch the Gonzaga Eagles play,
Yeah,
Caleb
let me-
Williams is worth the admission.
Let me ask you
alone.
guys this, because I wasn't trying to disrespect Good Counsel when I kind of maybe poorly phrased the question about how is Good Counsel
No, it just allowed
going
us to
to
jump
win
on you.
at
That's
the
all.
end. Yeah, right.
Continue to make mistakes. That's great.
Oh, I will. Trust me. I promise. What does Gonzaga do, whether it's schematically or just as a team? What do they do that causes fear in the WCAC opponents?
They are absolutely well coached. They are a
Discipline.
They're a machine offensively. I know it's early in the season. They've had a couple little turnovers here and there and some penalties like anyone else has, but But come November, those guys are ready to rock and roll. They run at a nice pace. That offense is moving. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of different guys with different roles. You notice they've got about 6 or 7 different guys with sacks. They've got 5 or 6 guys with touchdown receptions. They got multiple guys in the backfield running. They've had at least 3 guys with rushing touchdowns. So they're coming at you multiple. They're coming at you with a bunch of different sets, and they it's a high pace with a guy back there that can spin it. It's with a run game, they become super dangerous.
Yeah, a theme I keep hearing about Gonzaga teams as of late are the way that they're coached. And, everybody wants to have the fastest guys. Everybody wants to have the strongest guys. Everybody wants to have the biggest guys. Not everybody can have that. But if you have a team that is disciplined and plays well together and does their role, you're going to take down the teams that have more speed or more strength or bigger guys.
And let's be honest, there's 5 Power 5 scholarships lining up to play in the
Mix
purple.
them in.
So
Yes,
no. This ain't
they have talent.
Yes,
I've heard that over and over again. The kids' names we've been hearing over and over again, and the fact that the team is well coached, they're disciplined, they're a tough matchup for anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's move on to Hyattsville.
Definitely, we would love to.
DeMatha Catholic.
Had Coach Elijah Brooks on last week.
Thanks,
Coach,
Coach.
again, it was great to have you on. He gave us a preview against Friendship Collegiate. Our buddy over there, Michael Hunter, the head coach of Friendship Collegiate, he said it was going to be tough, right? And it was. I mean, they opened up. Friendship Collegiate struck first after an interception that led to a TD pass. It was 6-0. And then a sophomore QB comes in, Ryan Kamas, has a 6-yard TD run for DeMatha. They go up 7-6. That was the halftime score right there. That's what kind of a dogfight that they were in down there in Anacostia on Friday night. But then they come out, DeMatha pulls out all kinds of stops, right? They first start with Eric Nigerian with an 18-yard TD pass to DeMarco Helms. They try an onside kick. They didn't get it, but Coach Brooks was talking about going up against Mike Hunter, and I know that when you're going up against somebody that you like to throw a wrinkle in there every once in a while. We might have to have Michael Hunter on at some point to give his side of the story. But they also had a running back pass, a halfback pass to Helms as well. And then so that was 14-6.
And a couple fake punts as well, dude. They were out there getting
That's
it.
right. And then so it was 14-6, and then Friendship Collegiate comes within a little bit, comes within 2 on a TD pass for 14-12. And then DeMatha answers with a huge drive. Big pass play from Eric Nigerian to Jermaine Johnson, who we talked about last week. We asked Coach, who else on the team that we don't hear about a whole lot. He mentioned Jermaine, said that he was a basketball player. He's that rare current day hybrid basketball football player. He wanted to come out senior year and give it a shot.
Hey, real quick, I know he fumbled a punt that coughed up that gave Friendship the ability to go and score, and that's a big time play coming back there.
Yeah,
bouncing back and making it happen over there.
So then that leads to DeMatha's answer with a big drive and a 2-yard TD plunge by Marshawn Lloyd. Marshawn Lloyd, number 4 running back in the junior class in the nation. This kid can play. I believe he's a 5-star now. He's somebody you want to go out. He's worth the price of admission as well. And then DeMatha tacks on another one to go 27-12 after running back C. Bengura gets a 1-yard TD. There's a couple big runs, but the ensuing kickoff goes to the DeMatha 10-yard line. Friendship Collegiate adds on one more. The final score, 27-18. That is the 3rd game in a row. DeMatha's now 3-1. All 3 wins. They have 27 points. I think one of the big things going into a game against DeMatha, if you can hold them under 27,
yeah,
you got a chance.
Don't let them get exactly 27.
Don't let them get 27
right.
Or maybe over because you might
like
be
a
in trouble.
dice game.
That seems like what the mark you want to keep them under. Next up, Avalon, who is 3-0, wins against Ballou Episcopal from Pennsylvania, not from Virginia, and then Life Christian Academy. They got a couple DNs that are really good. Kadir Kaunta going to Old Dominion. We see what Old Dominion just did.
Oh, Dominion.
Yes, sir.
They ain't playing down there in the old, what is it,
Norfolk.
757,
That was
right?
something else.
And
buddy.
then they also got a kid named Carlo Jones who's going to JMU. JMU is a fantastic program.
Yep.
One of the best in the BCS.
And they've always done well getting guys out of the WCAC.
Both good counsel inside linebackers, signed, sealed, delivered, going to become Dukes.
Yep, they always do well. They get guys smartly from this conference. Certainly wish what's Avalon.
Avalon's homecoming.
Yeah, it's DeMatha's homecoming.
Sure.
Avalon's coming in 3-0. Feeling pretty good about themselves. I don't think that the cards are there for them here. They may put up pretty good fight. Just don't let DeMatha get 27 points.
Don't let him get 27 points, but we'll all pull for DeMatha Catholic
Something
this
tells
week.
me they're going to get there, though.
This week we're pulling for DeMatha Catholic. Let's round it out with of the heralded St. John's Cadets.
Man, I said it off camera. I said it feels like a bit of a trap game, not because of what's coming next, but because a 1-3 team comes up to play the Cadets, and it just didn't have that huge buzz. There wasn't the stands weren't exactly packed. St. John's is coming off a bye week. They were a tad bit rusty to start the game off, but these guys got off the bus, and there's a quarterback by the name of Harrison Bailey. I think we're going to be reading about and hearing about and seeing on TV for the next 4 years, if not longer. We've had the pleasure, Matt Seal, of watching in the last 2 years the two top junior pro passers in the nation play on the field at St. John's. DJ UI Galele from St. John's Bosco came in and won the game late in the game last year when Bosco played St. John's at St. John's. And Harrison Bailey and him stood out to me like sore thumbs. This guy was outstanding. And when you have wide receivers going to Oregon, Tennessee, and the number one athlete in the nation, his class, who's recruited by everyone, Eric Gilbert's a 6'6", 250-pound monster. They came down, marched down the field, controlled the ball, and scored on us right away. Onside kick, recovered. Scored again. And dang, we didn't really know it hit us.
Yikes.
You're looking around up there and you're saying, oh man, this is these guys have the talent to beat us today. They have the quarterback, they have the offense, and they got guys in defense that can play. And they haven't put it together yet. Like I said, 3 losses against top 20 teams. This is the best 1-4 team in the last 20 years in high school football.
Right.
It can't not be.
Like Joe Gibbs.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean,
team.
God bless those guys for playing that schedule. And they were absolutely hungry coming up here, getting off the bus. It's 14-0. They have the ball. There's 4 minutes left. They have the ball on St. John's 2-yard line. I mean, the scoreboard's about to say 21-0, and things are getting super hairy.
Quick.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, senior defensive back safety, heading to Michigan, Quentin Johnson, dekes a little stick route. He played a little possum, steps in front, breaks about 3 tackles, and takes it 80 yards down the sidelines.
Nice.
The absolute play of the game, without a doubt, could be in a few weeks, a month from now, could be a season changer. I mean, we're looking at 21-0 down. Nothing was going our way. The ball was bouncing the wrong way. Quentin Johnson was one of the greatest plays I've seen defensively at St. John's College High School since I've been alive. And what it did for the team and the momentum change. And the offense kicked right in. Sol J and Rakim go to work, come down and do their thing. Next thing you know, it's 14-7 instead of 21-0. And I got to tell you, on the slant, it was an RPO, and Sol J pulled the ball out. And there's a sophomore lineman that I love the guy's game. He's a great kid. He started every game in 15 straight games as a freshman and sophomore at St. John's. Colin Henrik, 6'3", 310 pounds, peels back and has the block of the day on that. On that
RPO play?
On the RPO, he pulls, not going downfield, and the D tackle coming across the face, rushing the passer. It was a kill shot. There was a bang bang. It was ridiculous, and I love this kid's game. He's a hard worker, great student, and he started 15 games, 7 against top 25 teams. 4 of those teams are top 10, with another 7 starts against the WCAC. That might be the most seasoned 15-year-old offensive lineman in the nation.
Shout out, Ward Brothers.
Yeah, man, that's it. The kid's a heck of a player, a heck of a kid. So Sol J and Rakim get back together. Rakim in the third quarter ties it up on a 40-yard. I mean, how ridiculous was that?
That's amazing.
It was a man amongst boys. He caught the ball out wide. If there's a better wide receiver in the nation, someone please send it to me.
Let us know.
Somebody, I want to see, because I refuse to believe it.
It's not fair.
I haven't seen anything like it. He handles himself like a pro. Hey, Marietta, next time you want to come up on the bus and send a little tweet out to the cadets, talking a little trash about someone in particular.
Don't
you might
for 5.
You might not have wanted to have come at
out
number
well
5.
for you.
Don't pick 5.
Yeah, number 5.
Don't pick 5.
And listen, shout out to the defense. After giving up 14 points and a whole heck of a lot of yards, they made tremendous adjustments. At the 4-minute mark, no more points from this ridiculous offense who I just described. Coach G and Coach Kaz really grabbed the bull by the horns and saw what was happening. After Quentin Johnson turned the momentum completely around, the O-line and the Arlen backs took the game over. Took it all the way down. It was a great W, but at the very end, who iced it on third down for the cadets? Sol J to Rakim.
The hurdle.
No timeouts left. The Sol J hurdle. Oh, please
Sol J hurdle.
Talk about that. That was one of the
Sol J,
best pictures you've ever had, my friend.
Little shake and bake move, and guy went low on him, and sure enough, fluttered right over top of him. Got a first down, led momentum down for the game-winning QB sneak, hop over the goal line.
Another hop over.
Game winner.
I happen to be standing.
They can go get that photo at
MCL
I happen to be standing next to somebody sitting at this table, and we kind of looked at each other and said, "This is just did we just see this come back?
And
Wow.
And then
was well earned.
He took the picture of Sol J hopping over everyone and showed it to me in a still frame right away, and I knew that was going to be a big deal.
That's a winner.
And,
That's the rookie card.
it was. It really was.
Could
I mean,
be.
that kid will have that picture forever. I mean, there's no way he couldn't.
Josh Allen must have seen the picture because
Yeah.
I haven't seen a quarterback do that in the NFL ever.
No, we got some new school. We got some new school going on.
Nice.
do.
Young
Hey.
kids teaching the old kids. I
In
love
our
it.
backyard.
You want to
Yeah, so real quick, they're heading up to the cadets are heading up to play the number 1 team in the state of Missouri, the Christian Brothers Cadets. Kind of strange, the St. John's
CBC.
Christian Brothers School, the cadets, are the
Cadet
cadets,
on cadet crime.
Cadet on cadets, number 1 team in the state of Missouri, defending state champions from last year. They've won it 2 of the last 4 years. They've been in the Final Four in the last 4 years. A fantastic program.
Schedule's ridiculous.
Blaine Gabbert's little brother, Brett Gabbert, is the starting quarterback.
Not
Miami
bad.
of Ohio
Gibby
commit.
Gabbert.
Brett Gabbert, not Gibby. Brett.
Just go with
But,
little brother's
Gibby
name.
Gabbert.
Yeah, they got him in a massive O line, and then St. John's have another test ahead of them on the road, and I'm hoping they come back to town 5-0, ready to take on the rest of this ridiculous
I
schedule.
wouldn't doubt it.
Before we transition to the next segment of the show, I'll give you guys each a quick hitter, and we'll do a better job as we move forward on the show, incorporating comments and getting some people. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us on Tuesdays. I can see there's comments coming along, and we're going to bring that onto the show, put it to you guys, because he brought it up with the 6'6", 250-pound athlete who's being recruited by the whole entire world. I'm just going to say, what position are you going to ask a guy like that to play on your team if you're the head coach? And I'm going to start with you. You got to pick one.
Either side of the ball.
Anywhere you want. He'll play anything you can put him at.
Give me the stats.
6'6",
again.
250, stud athlete,
Defensive end.
All right,
Sack the quarterback, kid.
That's the position.
that's the position.
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah, tight end, O.J. Howard.
I was
same
gonna say
exact
tight end.
measurements.
Could be tight end,
O.J. Howard,
sure.
we saw play a little bit last night, and
Yeah.
that's a freak. That's
I would
a
have
freak of nature.
I'm an offensive
6'6",
guy.
250 with no body fat.
I'm putting him at tight end. If I'm putting him anywhere, but you can't lose. That's why he's called an athlete, not a tight end.
Always
or
in
defensive-
search of the next
defensive
Lawrence
end.
Taylor.
All right, so we're going to get out tonight, but before we do, we got a couple more things to talk about. One is why we do this. And, Kevin, I wanted you to kind of take us through what's happening right now in the WCAC on a national scale.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Locally, all 4 teams, the top 4, St. John's, Gonzaga, Good Counsel, and DeMatha, ranked in the Post top 7, in the inconspicuously, ceremoniously arguable battle of the Todd Bradley DC sports fan situation. By the way, he's a good guy.
Love
So
him.
if you see
Love
Todd
him.
down the street, don't throw a rotten tomato at him.
That's the best.
It's just a poll. There is not a conspiracy theory. He's just having some fun.
It's a list.
And it's a list. But the thing that jumped out today, man, was that in the USA Today in the East region that came out on Monday, the 4 teams I just mentioned, St. John's is ranked 1st in the USA Today East, Good Counsel 5th, DeMatha 7th, and Gonzaga 8th. That is 8 teams. And the East considers from Virginia up to Maine, it's 13 states. I checked it out today because I have issues. That is 2,874 football teams, of which this conference produces 4 of the top 8. I mean, that's why we get so excited about this. The level of ball is through the roof, and the kids' character has been right there with it, as far as we can see.
Wapner comes on in a couple
Definitely,
hours.
definitely Wapner, and
That's
man,
unbelievable.
it's,
I mean, first of all, the fact that you found that is great. It fits in well here because we talk about the league. You could go through all 2,000 and some of them. How many of those up at the top are in the same league? How many of them? I know that there's 1 or 2 that can maybe say that we got some we got some teams, we got some players, we got some history. But that's just unbelievable. 8 out of 2,000 and some in the East region. That's incredible.
we have 4 in the top 8 out of 2,874.
4 in the top 8. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
That's why we're here.
A lot of reasons.
And so, without further ado, and before we let you go for the night, in which we're about to go and start our Redskins show on the Audible called After the Whistle. If you're watching us, switch over to Hogs Haven. We'll be doing the same spot, but we'll be talking Redskins. We have a special guest coming up. And we have an awesome announcement to make, and that is that First Amendment Sports will be covering the WCAC for the next 2 years. We got to deal with the conference. We're going to be talking about championship games. We're going to be at these championship games. We're going to be covering them. We're going to be covering the athletes, the student athletes in every sport. We're going to be here year round. We love football. Yeah, we love basketball, and those are big deals this time of year. But plan on seeing us.
We're going to do basketball
in the fall. Well,
girls, boys.
We're gonna do it all. We're gonna do it all. You're gonna know what's going on in WCAC sports.
We'll all be
by
there.
following First Amendment sports.
And to be clear, we are starting off with a live stream of the championship football game.
So we will be live streaming the football championship from First Amendment Sports, and we'll be live streaming the basketball championship. Now, you will see us at games, both football and basketball, prior to that. But First Amendment Sports does get the rights to live stream football and basketball, and really anything else we can get accomplished. But we're going to be covering it all. We're going to be bringing you the stories of the we talk about the best players in football on the East Coast. Guess what? We got the best players in every sport. We got the best golfers. We got the best tennis players. We got the best soccer players. We got the best softball players. We got the best
baseball.
We got amazing lacrosse. We're gonna touch on all of it, and we'll be doing it 52 weeks a year from here on out for the next 2 years at least. We're super excited to start this partnership with the conference. We're all from it. We love it. We're looking forward to telling the story, and that's what it's all about. Anyone can point a camera at a field, and anyone does, but no one understands and loves the way we do with you. So keep coming back.
Yeah, the understanding of the rivalries, the understanding of what's happened in recent years.
That's right.
The matchups. I mean, this is the stuff that it's just exciting.
We're
And
gonna,
you know what the best part is with the coaching background? I can't lose. There's no one's booing, no one's yelling at me that I didn't play so and so and so and so. This is the fun part.
But we sit here and we talk about, and hopefully what we can also do is with the generation today is we can marry the past, and we were all a part of this conference, and we were so lucky and felt honored to carry on the tradition of what we saw as we grew up. So we're talking 3, almost even 4 generations of the league.
That's well said. Just don't start talking about single wing stuff with these guys, man. They don't want to go back
we don't
to
have to go into single wing.
Maybe a little wing tee.
But dude, between the tackles, go over
3 hours in a cloud of dust.
It's what wins football games. I'm sorry.
We're going to be able to share some amazing stories.
We're going to be.
That's the key.
We already told you that we'll be at McNamara for the Mustang Gonzaga Purple Eagles game on October 20th. So please check us out. We're not, and we're not going to be hidden away. When we go to these places, we're going to be where you can hang out with us.
No, we also
I'll see that
banner right there.
October 12th.
October 12th.
That sign will be
Sorry.
out. We'll be tailgating in the parking lot at Catholic University doing a pregame for the St. John's Good Counsel game
That's right.
Friday night at Catholic. That will be televised on ESPN2. Couldn't get the rights to that one. Those guys got a little more scratch than
Barely
we do.
missed
But
out on that.
we're on our way. We're on our way. So we'll be in the parking lot.
To
To
for a
your
good
point,
time.
I have a correction for you tonight. You said that interception was one of the best defensive plays you've ever seen in St. John's history. I know this wasn't a St. John's player, but it happened on St. John's Field. We watched Lawrence Moten take one 99 yards.
No, 107 yards.
End zone to end zone.
107 yards.
Technically, I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Yes.
but-
you are.
Oh.
107
It was
yards.
We're giving
Look
Moten
at
the
that.
extra
It's
8.
listed at 107
Both of us were
yards.
water boys for
Yeah.
St. John's at the time, but it was
Yeah, I seen
absolutely
it.
one of the best plays I've ever seen in my life. Lawrence Moten, who went on to play in the NBA, by the way,
Yes.
was a great basketball player at Syracuse. And I know he probably
High
made the right
Sox.
choice, but
Hey.
if he had made the choice to play football,
Better football player.
it would have been he'd have been a household name.
And Quentin Johnson should be ecstatic to have his name mentioned with the great Lawrence
Same
Moten,
sentence.
one of the greatest athletes in Washington, D.C. sports history.
Correct.
We've seen it. We've been there.
Yes.
We've been around for a while.
And I haven't said his name, and he didn't go in the WCAC, but I was watching last night, watching Joe Hayden line up for Pittsburgh Steelers, and he brings it all the way back to me. Whenever I see him on, I mean, his name is on number
Carroll?
after number.
Yeah,
Great
another Carroll kid.
great quarterback.
Only second to Keith Ricka in the state of Maryland passing.
Second to Keith
Have a
Rickett.
shout out to my
Yep.
little brother.
That's
there.
right. I wanted to make sure we got
There you
got
go.
there.
There you go.
All right, listen. Hey,
There will be nepotism on the show. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
sorry.
Oh,
It's
God.
what happens. It's
Hey,
what happens when
it's
you
gonna
grew up in
happen.
a
Plan on
in a
see-
local
Self-deprecating, but I'm allowed to talk about my little brothers.
We're going to be doing this
And
near
sisters.
a game happening.
Yes.
Yes. We're bringing you the game, but this is going to be happening, and that's pretty much what we're all about. Thanks for joining us tonight. We will be back.
Spread the word.
Next Tuesday for some more high school sports coverage. Some more energy, more passion. We love this stuff. Until next week, he's Kevin Ricca.
Hey, thank you guys for listening. Appreciate everything. To all the athletes, stay healthy this week.
Yes.
Matt the Real Deal CEO, Pete Schweddy.
Thanks for watching, guys. Spread the word.
You want to? He's Tim Strachan.
Yep, definitely spread the word. We're going to talk about the current. We're going to talk about the past. We're going to be talking about these kids in this league and everybody going in the future. I mean, we talk about how we see Stephon Diggs on the on every weekend, not only doing what he does on the field, but now he's got that national Geico commercial. I mean, that's from here.
Yep,
that's from here.
It's WCAC.
That's big stuff. Love it,
from
guys.
the league.
Keep doing it.
I'm Ken Marangolo. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, this was the WCAC Spectacular. Take us out, Maddie. Thanks, everybody.
Later.
Go get